Hi everyone, this is Subeda from Zephyr Lake Carmelite Mission, wishing you a very happy Easter today. And I'd like to give my few words of reflection. Often we've heard or read the words, Eve shut the doors of paradise, and Mary opened wide the doors of paradise to all humanity. This reminds us that in order to experience the fullness of joy of Easter, we ought to begin at the very beginning, where we read in the book of Genesis, the creation story. Each year during the Easter Vigil, this reading is the first reading, and we welcome new believers into the church, into the community of faith, and we ourselves recommit ourselves in spite of all of our own failings and the failings and problems that surround us by placing our trust in the power of the resurrected Lord to begin anew a life of sanctity and trusting that God is here to heal us, to give us life, to guide us on our path of holiness, and that He would restore goodness in us and into all the disorders around us. So it's a time of great hope and great trust in God's amazing grace. And I thought to share with you today some of the ways in which I wish to live the Easter message in my own life, and I wish that you would join me in this. I wish to live a life that is filled with the love of God, and that would help me to overcome the disbelief I see in the world. Through my love of God, through my love of neighbor, I wish to overcome the disbelief in God and the hatred of people that I see around in the world, that we hear in the news and in other ways. And to live a life that shows that I believe in the existence of God when I see that there is a lot of people who are having difficulty even believing in God's existence. So to be an example through our life and to serve the people of God and not to be people who refuse to serve others and to serve God. And to be joyful, to be peaceful, to be loving, not to be sad and not to have lack of peace or be the person who disrupts the peace of others or to be hateful, but rather to overcome all of those negativity through joy, through peaceful living, and through love. And to promote the sanctity of life and to save lives through even just prayer and prayerful witnessing, to protect the unborn, to stop wars, to pray the rosary to stop wars, to help the elderly, including elderly in our own homes. And that way we overcome all the things that we see in this world, the wars, the terrorism, the abuse of the elderly, the killing of the unborn, and just so many human violence that we hear every day in the news and around us. So through our lives, we will help to overcome those issues that humanity faces. And to live a life that is joyful, that is full of hope and expectancy of great things that God will accomplish in the lives of not only our own lives, but in this world. And to take away or to overcome thoughts of suicide and depression, and to lead lives that are law-abiding and promoting legal, ethical living, and like avoiding and setting a good example for those who promote illegal activities, to be indifferent to money, possessions, and wealth, and not base our actions on getting more money, wealth, position, those kind of things that are temporary and pass away. Instead, to spread love, joy, and peace, and to not instill fear, not instigate conflicts and hatred, but do the exact opposite, to be truthful every day, and to not be deceitful or lying, to love purity, to love holy thoughts, holy words, holy actions, modesty and chaste living, and obedience to God's laws, to overcome so much of impurity that goes on around in the world, in entertainment, in the news, all the kinds of immodesty and unchastity, swearing, pornography, impurity of actions, disobedience to God's laws, especially to the Ten Commandments, all of those things that I want to overcome with being obedient, following God's commandments to love Him and to love my neighbor. So each of us, by doing that, can, like Mary, open the doors of paradise by our way of living, through our life of prayer, through our life of faith, and through our cooperation with God's grace to bring all of humanity into paradise. Recently, I heard a priest saying, there's no one in hell. And everybody got a little bit, some people got a little bit upset. And he said, why does it upset you? Because Jesus died for everyone. And that should be our desire. It is God's will that there should be no one going to hell. Everybody, God wishes, would go to heaven. And that's why Jesus died not just for a few, but for all humanity, every person that was ever created. So we have the similar desire that we don't go alone to heaven, but we bring many people along with us, and maybe all of heaven will be filled with all of humanity, and that there would be no person who will condemn themselves to hell. So that's our prayer this Easter. That's my prayer. And so like Mary, we want to try to lead a life of purity, of obedience, and of service, so that we open also with Mary wide the doors of paradise to all of humanity. So happy Easter to you and to your family, and have a wonderful season. Until Pentecost, we continue to celebrate Easter. And a quick reminder that Divine Mercy Novena started on Good Friday. Today is day 3. But if you forgot about it, you can start today. It's always a good time to start a novena to the Divine Mercy of Jesus. And we will celebrate Divine Mercy Sunday next Sunday. Once again, happy Easter and have a blessed Sunday.